Fridays in the Mountainside Podcast, and returning to the studio is Robbie Kroger. He's the founder and creator of Blood Origins, recently renamed the Origins Foundation. It is truly remarkable what Robbie has put together with he and his team, raising awareness about conservation from a global standpoint, educating people around the world about hunting, and giving people a lens into some really remote places that they may never see. I always enjoy sitting down with Robbie. This was a great conversation.
Well, welcome
Enjoy
to Colorado.
Once
again. I was here 7 days ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that event?
It's like this is my second state. Yeah, no, it was good. The Colorado Colorado Houndsmen, the United Houndsmen Association, had their banquet, and Justin Anglovich, who really started the ball rolling on Lionheart, said to me, you want to come and be our keynote speaker? And I said, sure, honored to, love to do it. So out we came, and I think there was a bit of weather in the area, so the crowd wasn't as full as Justin wanted.
Oh, it was an outdoor event. Huh?
No. There was some outdoor components to it. There was some
Gotcha.
like archery for kids and stuff like that. It was inside. It was in the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame.
That's a cool spot.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. And the people that were there, showed up and put their money out. Put their hands up for money to be raised, and overall it was great. We showed 2 little films, one of which we'll probably talk about a lot today. Of what we're doing now in Colorado. And then we showed a film of a teaser that we're working on coming out of India. All about
I think I saw that.
Human-wildlife conflict and predators. You wouldn't have seen it. We haven't released any of it.
Okay. I thought I saw some sort of post with it, though, right? Maybe you did a post on Instagram.
Yeah,
it's just like a cover.
You've seen some. Yeah, so
Okay.
Wild Origins India is one of our affiliates. So we're now, with our name change, the Origins Foundation, we're no longer Blood Origins. We're the Origins Foundation, which is now this broader mission, tied to conveying the truth around sustainable use of wildlife, not just hunting. And hunting is obviously a big component of sustainable use of wildlife. But we want to do that on a global scale. And we have people that are interested in doing that with us. And so we've got Mark in Canada. So the affiliates around the world are going to be called Wild Origins. So it's Wild Origins Canada. And then the Indian team, what you just saw, the post that you saw was Wild Origins India. So
Okay.
we did all the, MOUs and whatnot. So we locked that all down, and it's done. So Wild Origins India, we're working on Wild Origins Australia next. And then we've got South Africa, Namibia, Finland, and Spain. And then those are the ones that I've been working on with in the last 4 to 5 years. And then the probably the newest one that will come online will be United Kingdom.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of what you do and so appreciative of what you do in the organization. I know it's not just you.
Yeah, so see that picture right there? So that picture, actually it's a video, but it ends with the cover video. The cover picture is me and the Indian compatriots. So maybe just cancel out of that video so you can just see the photo. So that photo, all those people there are a tribe in India called the Padris, and they are a hunter-cultured tribe in India. So in India, there's just tribes all over the show, but these guys are hunters. They're the only hunting tribe in India, and they've been pretty much ostracized as criminals. And
Really?
So they've been kicked out of the forest. So the forests are being converted to national parks. They're kicking out the people out of the forest to make these open, pristine, human-free areas. And one of the tribes that are being kicked out is the Padris. And the Padris live in this village, and you can see a bit of it there. If you look very closely, we're standing on the road, and the road ends behind us. Okay? It literally ends. That's the end of the road. The road ends, and behind it is the forest. And these guys have 2 lines of houses on either side of the road. It's not doubled. That's how small a village it is. There's like 200 people in it, 250 people in it. They'd never seen a white guy before.
Really?
I was the first white guy to be, and they knew that I was coming because Via, who's the guy leaning down there, Via was, we wanted to film there. We wanted to interact with them. And, it was insane. Like I had a whole album. I purposely for that visit put a whole album together of all of my hunts, like all the animals I've hunted, because they wanted to see it. And so I've turned my phone off, but I should be able to still access. Yeah. As I'm
so
talking,
do they strictly rely on hunter gathering
they used to.
And
so
farming?
the government, no, they were never farmers.
Okay.
And so now the government wants them to be farmers. And so they've given them land, they've given them seed, they've given them everything, but they're not farmers. They're like, what do we do with this? Like, we're not farmers, we're hunters.
Yeah.
And so they've struggled a lot with like coming to grips with this new life of theirs. And it's just incredible. It's almost like a forgotten piece of society. And so this is me here going through my photos.
Oh, that's incredible.
Okay, with them. Here I've got more. I've got, I'll show a video, so I'll play it.
छोटा उम्र से ही सिखाते हैं
So that's me explaining like hunting. I'm showing them iguana. I went iguana hunting in Florida,
Really?
and I'm showing them a picture of me hunting an iguana. And it's funny, hunting, really, the idea of hunting, you've probably seen accounts, you've seen societies, you've seen organizations in this world called shikar. Have you heard of shikar?
No.
Ever heard of the word shikar? Shikar, shikar.
Okay.
Well, shikar means hunt in Indian, in Hindi. And so you're referred to as a shikari. You're a shikari, you're a hunter. So Shikar Safari Club, like Safari Club International originally was called Shikar Club International.
Didn't know that.
It was like this, it was built off the backs of these like traditionalist hunters that used to hunt in India, like the colonialists that used to hunt in India. So there's just so much to do in India. It's unbelievable. There's just so much opportunity. No hunting, been banned since 1977.
That's so wild, man.
The poorest of the poor on the front lines of human-wildlife conflict. The province we were in, Maharashtra, in 2024, the province alone, 280 odd people got killed by tigers. Okay, mountain lions, 284 kills in, say, the state of Colorado from mountain lions. What would happen?
Oh, it would be full on armed guys.
Yeah. And it's the poorest of the poor being hit there.
Right.
It's not anything but that. Like, and if they want to protect themselves,
like so much bigger than a mountain lion, man.
Oh, dude, like, it's enormous.
Did they tell you any stories, or did they have any first-hand accounts?
Whilst we were filming the documentary, we went to a village to film a group of women who had lost a brother and father, and literally a moped pulled up and said, "Hey, a guy just got killed by a tiger in the village over," and the whole camera crew jumped on the back of the mopeds. I didn't go because I'm the white guy. They drove into this village. The villagers are just gnashing their teeth, super mad at the forest department, and they walk through and the crowd's all drunk and whatnot. It's like Friday night, on a Friday night, and they just came around the corner and there's a dead guy on the road, blood coming out of his neck
from a tiger.
Yeah,
holy shit!
And it's not like they're purposely. Some of them, they are man eaters, but for the majority, they're not man eaters. It's just wrong place, wrong time. But these guys are just walking home from the fields. They've been working the fields all day. It's dusk or dark. They just happen to walk by a tiger, and the tiger goes, "Oh, okay, smash you." Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
I mean, that level of predator is just, it's next level compared to what we have.
They've got incredible predator numbers. Leopards. So India, a lot of people they have no idea. India is the bastion of wildlife diversity in this country, in this world, okay, for predators. Lions, the famous gear lions, leopards, jackals, hyenas, wolves, bears, tigers, probably some sort of wild dog, some sort of little wild cat. There's like 10 of them, okay, predators. Then you've got elephants, rhinos, saltwater crocodiles, freshwater
They have saltwater crocs?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They've got everything. And then you've got all the species, right? You've got the axis.
There's a ton of predatory snakes there too, like big ones, right?
Yeah, big cobras. Huge big cobras. Nilgai, all sorts of deer species, sambar, right?
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's incredible biodiversity. And the
access deer originated from India,
yeah,
right?
I've seen monsters. We
Really?
went into a tiger preserve whilst I was there in India, and I had to text friends of mine that are big axis hunters in Texas saying, you won't believe the monsters. that are in this national park.
Are the ones on Hawaii super small? I mean, I think that's the
Yeah, I think
just because they're an island animal, or
maybe, I don't know the reason for change in stature or change in horn length. Maybe a density issue. There's a lot of them in Hawaii or Lanai or anything like that. Maybe it's a nutrition thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
or it could be adaptation to those predatory species. I mean, I would think you'd want to be a little bit bigger to get away from
Maybe.
a tiger, right?
Maybe, but
Yeah.
I don't think they lose their instincts. Like, these guys aren't losing instincts.
They're so fast.
But look at this. This is like leopard attack. Like, look at him. This is freaking middle of a village, and there's a leopard running through it.
Holy shit.
We let me see if I can find a video quickly for you. But we stayed at a little hostel whilst we were filming our piece, and so right there's a tiger crossing the road. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yep.
This is where you guys
So
were
there's
staying?
a tiger, okay? The top of this road right here, my house was right there. That's where I lived. And that tiger came from my house.
Oh my God.
And he's just going down the driveway. This is where we stayed for 6 days. It's got a fence around it. It's got a swimming pool. We swam in the swimming pool.
That's insane.
And there it is. That's the driveway we drove in and out every time.
So how often do those, holy shit, look at this guy.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. It's nuts.
How often are people getting taken out? Is it like
Thousands a year.
thousands a year?
Thousands.
That's frightening.
Yeah. Leopards
That's
and
the
tigers.
boogeyman for sure.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
thing is, these guys have no. They don't. They have no. Look at these guys. Look how they try. They wear motorcycle helmets to protect themselves from. They go into a leopard thing with motorcycle helmets and batons and whatnots. And these guys they're not trained to do any of this stuff.
What is the game and fish
It's
like
the forestry
situation there?
department. Forestry
Okay.
department. Some are really good, but they're not. They're super undertrained, right? They don't know how to deal with. They don't train, weaponry or marksmanship or anything of that nature. And it's a huge, huge animal rights. And here's the other reason why there's such a population. So look at that. You've got a leopard in the middle of a freaking build site. Okay. Like, he's just saying, get the hell out of my way, right? But the reason the leopard is in this environment is because, and look, they try to catch it with a net. See, it's just, the reason it's in this environment is because, number one, to kill a feral dog in India is illegal. So the feral dog population is astronomical, probably in the billions. Then you've got all the cattle through religious regions. You can't touch a cow, right? So the prey base for predators is monstrous, especially in urban environments like this.
Because they know it's a quick meal.
Yeah,
right?
these leopards live in sewers, and that's fake.
Yeah, that's AI.
But it's crazy. Like, they live in sewer systems, and I've seen videos of them, walking down a street, the same camera angle, and then they come back and they've got a dog in their mouth or a cat in their mouth or something like that. It's unbelievable.
That's so wild.
It's so odd. Look at this.
Feral dogs are a problem, man. Like,
Massive.
I've
massive
only
problem.
experienced them
See, watch
in
this.
a couple
This leopard's
spots,
about
but-
to smoke this dog. I bet you. I haven't watched this video. I can only assume he's just checking it out. The dog's super asleep. He's just gonna go, oh, nice. I'm gonna smash it. Let's see. Look how stealthy
Give
he
us
is,
some
man.
volume, Jeremy.
He's so stealthy. Boom, gone. Oh, missed it. Oh no.
Oh, not anymore.
No. Yes. Done.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway, so we filmed
predators
that.
have to be managed, right? They have to have.
Well,
Oh my god.
yeah, like, these guys have no idea what they're doing, and most of this time, as you've seen, like, probably half these videos that you've watched, it's like regular Joe Blow trying to do something
Right.
in the middle of an urban center.
That's wild, man.
Wild, man.
I had no idea it was like this. So, how long were you there?
I was there 11 days.
And how many tiger interactions did you have in that 11 days? Just the one?
We had the one that was like fresh. We talked to people who had been attacked by leopards. We went into the tiger reserve and saw a tiger. I saw a tiger, saw a leopard. Then we went to another tiger reserve and followed the tracks of tigers. They're all over the show. Like we stopped in the middle of, like between two cities. Like if we were driving from Denver to Colorado Springs, right? Mm-hmm. Same situation in India. You're driving on this highway. The highways aren't anything but just two roads. But you've got just stalls where you can buy tea and food and whatnot. And we just stopped at a random stall to get out and get some tea. And the guy that I was with was talking to one of the patrons of the restaurant who was just there. And he was talking about tigers and whatnot. And the guy goes, "Oh, no, there's a female tiger right here with her cubs. She's just back here." So they're everywhere. Leopards,
Wow.
like we left another village that we had done some filming in. And as we're driving out of the village, there's this huge ruckus and commotion in front of us. Stopped vehicles, people peering. I was like, man, there's something here. So I got out, and the Indian guys are freaking out. I was like, no, don't do it. And again, first white guy probably these guys have ever seen, because we are in the rural India. And there's a leopard just hanging out.
That's insane.
And everyone videoed it, and they were videoing the white guy. And
It's so crazy to me because mountain lions are so elusive.
that's
Like,
a guar. Look at that
holy
thing.
smokes.
Yeah, it's a big old bovine that looks like it's on steroids. It's amazing.
That's
I
wild.
love it.
Did you have any sort of protection there? A sidearm or
No,
anything?
No.
Not allowed.
And none of the villages don't have it either. They've just got sticks. Sticks
I'm not
and,
laughing,
and,
but
and
that's
sticks and speakers
wild.
and just like to make a lot of noise, and
Right.
that's it.
That's so wild, man.
Yeah.
In the entire continent, they banned, like, is Asia
No, just India. as a
just
country.
India?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah. Pakistan, you can
what
hunt.
is kind of the reasoning? Is it just animal rights activists that?
Yeah. India is the bastion.
But
It
they
is-
have
it is
all
the
these
center.
problems on a daily basis, probably.
Yeah, but
right?
it's not on the news.
Okay, so
'Cause
they're
again,
just
it's
not
the poorest
covering
of the
it.
poor getting
Right.
hit. Like in Delhi, like there's a crazy percentage of people in Delhi that have like lung issues, asthmatic, whatnots, because of the incredible pigeon population and the shit from pigeons, causing like there's fecal matter in the air all the time.
So wild.
And nobody's like, well, why don't we kill some of these pigeons? No.
Really?
It's like
So
you're
is
letting
it a
your-
religious thing you think that
No.
drives it, or what? Do you think that there's?
These are our,
Do you
these
think
are our,
it's-
these are our Wild Origins India guys. They're good. These two guys are really good. Veer and Pri. They're
I'll
young.
have to check that out. I
They're
had no
young.
idea it was like this. Like, I've been to India several times, but just in and out with rock bands, like super fast. And it was that was a
listen,
nightmare logistically.
I went to places that again nobody goes to,
Exactly.
and it was incredible.
If they've never seen white people,
The Padres hadn't. Yeah.
what is their culture like, or what is it like going in? I've had some of those experiences, but not to that level. Most of mine were like in South Africa, going from, one major city to another, like township or something like that. And just passing through like very, very briefly. But that might be, I don't think I've ever like been around indigenous people like the Maasai or anything like that,
No, it was pretty awesome, man. It was just what I loved about it is that they were just super welcoming. Like they were just, again, these are the poorest of the poor. These guys, they live hand to mouth. Sometimes they do illegal hunting because they want to feed themselves. Plus, they've got farmers who are like, man, we need to keep these pigs out of the farm. Can you help us? That's what they used to do. That was essentially their jobs was
Really?
to help the farmers.
Right.
But poorest of the poor, and the person like will go get chairs and let you sit on their porch, and they'll make tea for you and sit there and converse with you, or through a translator with me, obviously. But just super happy, but then also super tragic. You know, they've lost their culture, they've lost their heritage, they've lost this thing that their culture does, which is hunting. And so, and there's, you know, these villages are getting smashed by pigs and nilgai all the time. You know, I walked into a guy's farm, and he showed me a bunch of pig damage, and I said, you know that, through my translator again, I said, you know that an American will come here and he'll pay you $200 for the day to have an opportunity to hunt pigs on your farm.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then he had these Indian parakeets eating his oranges. And these oranges were amazing. Just super fresh. Like they didn't look ripe. They were like more orange. They're more green, yellow, but incredibly fresh. And he pulled off a couple. And he goes, yeah, you know, I don't have as many orange trees as I want because the parakeets eat them all the time. I said, well, American would pay you $200 a day to shoot the parakeets too. And I said, so in one day, you could earn $400. And he goes, I don't make that in a year.
Holy shit.
So it could absolutely revolutionize communities.
Not to mention the
and
government
towns.
could benefit from it, right? Because
Yeah,
I'm
look,
sure it would be taxed and
Yeah, but India's, you know, you talk about being super corrupt.
Yes.
Like India has problems just like Africa. Very, very corrupt. Everyone's in it for themselves kind of thing, right? But there are good people. There are good people doing good things. There are people, you know, in government system trying to do good stuff too. And I understand the worry of like bringing sustainable use or hunting into a culture like India because there's so many people. Okay. But even though there's so many people, they would never decimate a wildlife population. It would mainly be like, okay, look, as a community, the forest department is saying we're allowed to take 20 pigs a year or 20 nilgai a year. Like you give us a quota. And the community then drives that quota. It's the community-based natural resource management model that is all over the world. Let the community drive that process. Let them sell the quota. Let them benefit from the hunting. They're going to benefit from an agricultural depredation perspective, but also from the meat.
monetary.
Because the meat, some of the villages won't touch it, you know,
Right.
from a religious perspective. Others will. They'll eat it. But if they don't, okay, there's lots of dogs that you can feed with the meat. They're everywhere, like I said already. And then the economics tied to it is unbelievable.
Yeah, if farmers are making $400 a year,
Nothing. Yeah, and you could spread that, like the farmer could get like 80% of the money, 20% of the money goes into the village, right?
Right.
And so now the village is making money because of this. There's lots of ways to skin this
not
cat.
to mention it would provide jobs for people, whether they were skinners or processors or,
Yeah.
you know, trackers.
Yeah.
Like there's so much.
You just need to do it once, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find one. We need one regional administrator to say yes to, because the law allows you to do it. It's just whether or not the regional administrators, the government officials, are willing to accept the risk associated with it. So you need to find a regional administrator that will. And the trick and again with India and the government service, they move around a lot. So even if you get a guy that's like, yep, I love the idea, I'm going to do it, in 2 years' time, he's gone and a new guy comes in, and all of the politics and relationships that you've built up until that point is now gone because you have to start anew. The guy that's coming in is not somebody who's come up the ranks,
Right.
somebody from a different province, typically. But you just need to try it. You need to do it once. You need to document it extremely well.
You need to show the success of it.
Show the
right?
success and the benefit of it, and then I think it'll work. But it's a long road to hoe, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
So some of these people that you visited, now, how long has hunting been taken away from them? Is it like something
50
that happened
years.
50 years?
50 years.
So how are they surviving now, or what is the expectation? Is there government subsidy?
Yeah, there is.
There...
So if you get killed, if Bobby Marshall got killed by a tiger, the government will give your family $30,000 straight up. Here's a check.
Really?
And that's one of the things that the guy in our film says. It's like, Well, you're valuing a human life at $30,000, but you value the tiger's life at $2 million. Because if you kill a tiger, that's like the fine, $2 million,
Holy shit.
or the amount of money that's gone into restoring or conserving
Right.
a tiger, $2 million, in comparison to $30,000 for a human.
And how are they keeping track of the population numbers and stuff like we do here in the U.S.?
I don't know.
Just a guesstimate?
I don't know. It's, there's people everywhere in India.
Right.
It's not like, that's the thing. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Like everywhere. Yeah. Small village after small village after small. It's crazy.
It's so cool what you do and the experiences that you get to have or that you've put yourself in position to have. It's got to be, I guess this is more of a question, it's got to be very humbling. I know it has been for me when I've experienced in all the travels that I've done. It's made me appreciate what we have here at home so much more. When you travel to a spot like that, it makes your connection to family more important for me anyways, like to put it in perspective. Like some of those South American countries, like the homeless situation there is so much worse than what we have here.
Yeah.
Like gangrene in the streets and
Yeah.
just no medical attention at
Jeez.
all, So like seeing that, maybe what we got going on isn't so bad, right?
Oh,
Even
no,
though it's
no,
not
no.
the best.
Oh, it is the best.
Yeah.
It is the best.
Right. It could be better, I guess, is what I'm saying. It is
Yeah, but
absolutely the best.
Yeah, you go
Yeah.
across the world and, there's things that you have here that you just take completely for granted.
Yeah. So much. Like food being one of them, right?
Yeah, it's humbling. It's so cool. Like being able to be in a village like that is unbelievable. It was so cool to go and experience it and capture the moment and, make it live sort of immortality through what we do on our platform.
That's the best part is other people can experience. I get to experience it.
Correct.
Like I know so much more about South Africa and Namibia and like all these spots because of the Origins Foundation,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Well, that's
or
what we
originally
want.
Blood Origins.
Yeah, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
We want people to, understand the system, absorb the knowledge, and then be confident to talk about it. Even if it's just one fact that you've learned from me or one piece of rhetoric that you're like, hey, somebody goes, oh man, hunting should get banned from Africa. And that's literally what I've been living in the last 8 days. With the big lion controversy in Zimbabwe, and then Texas millionaire got killed by a buffalo literally like 2 days ago. And the dregs of humanity have
Yeah, can
have
you
come
elaborate on that a little bit? What happened? I mean, I saw your post, but I didn't see the whole story. And
Yeah, it's not difficult you'll find it very, very quickly. It's the media storm that has come around this guy who just happens to be a hunter, a millionaire out of Texas, the vitriol and the underbelly of hatred, is gut-wrenching, really gut-wrenching. And really it came down to the fact that he was buffalo hunting, and buffalo hunting is dangerous. And as you can see here, it's on every single news channel you can imagine.
Those comments are
Some
some
are.
of the most reprehensible stuff I've ever.
I've dealt with it now for 3 days, and I'm done. I'm done dealing with it. And it's probably the worst I've seen and read since I started this thing. And literally it was just a buffalo hunt, and a buffalo hunt that went wrong. And,
yeah, let's not even show this, man. Like,
it's what it is.
They're all garbage. It's
Yeah.
And so,
but this shows
and
the worst part of humanity, I think,
Yeah.
is standing behind a curtain and being able to chuck stuff into the world or have a voice
and do it
freedom of
and
speech.
do it, and probably do it gleefully, which is the worst part. Like celebrating someone's death and probably you hitting send or post with a smile on your
get
face.
a dopamine hit, right?
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
they're very good friends of mine. The people, the outfitter that the client was with, professional hunters, it's a good friend of mine. The tracker is a good friend of mine. They're all good friends of ours. And so, tragic situation. I feel for them. I feel for the family. My heart's broken for our community heartbroken based on the comments that we've been seeing. But for me, it's like it drives me even more now. Like I was on a call on the way into you, just telling my team, I was like, man, we just need to drive into more of the education space. Like people need to just be really, be able to be educated. And we educate with data, and we educate with facts, and we educate with stories, and we educate with all the stuff that we're good at. We just ramp it up now. Like, I don't know how we do it. I guess our foot's fully down, but we're going to push it even further. And that's what we do. And, I want people to, if there's another controversial lion hunt happens in Wangi one day, another collared, supposedly iconic lion gets shot, I want a page that is dedicated to Wangi lions and be full of data and links and whatnot, so that anybody wants to interact, they just say, oh, go see this link.
Or if you want to see the real science behind it, right?
Yeah, or get the real science out there.
Yeah.
There's science about Wangi lions, but nobody uses it. Nobody transforms it into a way that people can digest it. Nobody understands it. Nobody knows it like verbatim. And so you can you can say, Wangi has a strong lion population. Okay, well, where's the data? Who's done that? Show me that it has a strong lion population. Right. I can't point you to something. I know it's a strong lion population based on some of the research I've read and some of the people I've spoken to. I know that they've been hunting Wangi since the mid-90s, and they're still hunting Wangi in 2025. If that's the case, then there must be a pretty good lion population for hunting to have occurred for 35 years and then not be detrimental to the lion population. I know at one point in time, Wangi did have a trophy hunting problem, that there were too many lions being taken on quota. But then you ask like the old guys that have been hunting around Wangi since like the 70s. They said to me, they're like, 70s, 80s, when the cattle farming area was rich in that area between Vic Falls and Wangi. This is in Zimbabwe. They said the farmers, you would buy a lion to be exported with your clients, and the farmer would say, shoot as many lions as you want, only pay for the one that you're going to export.
Wow.
Hundreds of lions got shot.
Yeah.
And so obviously, I'm saying that because there's evidence to show that there's currently a good lion population. The reason that there is a good lion population is because the community around Wangi values lions because of the money that's being brought in by lion hunters and all the other things that come with it. Because if there was no value to those communities, all those communities have goats and cattle and all that kind of stuff, there'd be poisoning events of lions all over, and you wouldn't have lions leaving the park anymore. But lions constantly spill out of the park, constantly move out of the park, because the park's probably full of prides, full of territorial males, and these nomadic lions are going to be pushed out. Other females are going to get pushed out into the surrounding areas.
That natural cycle.
And if that pushing is occurring, it means you've got a pretty healthy lion population. Same thing happens here in Colorado. Mm-hmm. Why are we seeing increasing in mountain lion occurrences in Nebraska, in Kansas, in the Dakotas? It's because the mountain lion population here, Colorado, north of Colorado, is good. And those lions are dispersing.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Well, and also their habitat is getting eaten up by subdivisions are just constantly going up, especially in the mountain areas. I think in the state of Colorado specifically, I think in the last 5 years, the population, or 10 years, has doubled. Look that up, Jeremy, just to make sure. I think it's almost doubled in 10-year period. That's a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong on that, but we're going to find out.
The lion population or the human population?
Human population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say lion, I'm like,
No, human
Well, I
population.
think one of the most fascinating things, and I want to thank you publicly. I mean, the last time you were in, we were still in the midst of Ballot Initiative 127.
Correct.
And everything that you did with, the film, and then coming to Colorado and speaking and sharing it with the world, right? Because you have a worldwide audience. And, there were so many people, and to think the list is literally too long, but like having Dan Gates and those sort of
100%.
people, and then, them being on a multitude of podcasts, and just
there was just such
it was
huge
a community effort,
huge
right?
community pulled in the same direction. Everyone picked up the same rope and just pulled in the same direction.
Biggest thing that I got out of that was I know way more about mountain lions now than I ever did in my entire life, like even growing up here, right? Like the education that I got on populations, numbers, what they were in 1950 to compared to what they are now.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
You just need to get invested in you need to be invested in.
Okay, 35% growth from 2000. So in 25. Okay, I was way off. But still, that's an astronomical amount of people.
Everywhere you're getting, more pressure, the bigger, human fingerprint is increasing on this planet. And habitats are getting squeezed. Wildlife is getting squeezed. And again, the reason why we changed the name to the Origins Foundation is because we believe very strongly that a sustainable use model in these areas are going to protect habitat and protect wildlife, because there's going to be value to them through use instead of something else coming on from a land use perspective and going, okay, look, here's what makes more money for this piece of land. And I'll break this down a little bit for you. If you look at this planet as this table, every square inch of this table has some sort of land use associated with it, right? It's either a road, a building, a lake, a forest, something, right? A city, whatever, right? So if you had to guess, of this table in the world, what do you think the percentage of land dedicated to wildlife or has some sort of positive effects on wildlife is?
I'm going to say, so globally, like, because this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because a national park is so much different than a wilderness area.
Include them together.
Okay. Maybe 30%?
So I would argue that you're probably looking at 10 to 15%.
Really?
And here's why. You've heard of the 30 for 30 initiative. Have you heard of 30 for 30?
Yep.
30 for 30 means that America wants to have 30% of its land area protected, which means your 30% number is wrong because we don't have 30% protected right now. Okay? But let's just assume it's 30%, whatever it is. It's a low number. Okay? It's going to range from 8% to 30%.
We're talking landmass. We're not talking
oceans. Not oceans or anything like that, right? Just land.
Yep.
Okay, so now you take that small percentage, which is like this little corner of the table, and you go, okay, in this corner of the table, what are the things that protect wildlife and sustain wildlife? You just named 2 of them. I would argue there's only 7. There's only 7 things in this world that protect wildlife. You just talked about national parks. I would include state parks, wildlife management areas.
We even have city parks like up here.
Yeah. I'll add those.
Yeah.
Right? 1. Then you've got your wilderness areas, your jungles, your tundras, your Siberian tigers, all of that, right? The areas that are there. They're just there. 2. 3 would be your regenerative agriculture, regenerative forestry, right? That's the Southeast model. Whitetails, like you're building, you're manipulating the forest for wildlife, right? You've got some farms that are regenerative from a cattle farming perspective that have hedgerows and look after wildlife and all that kind of stuff, right?
Upland birds or whitetail, whatever it might
3.
be, right? Okay.
4, your philanthropic model. So your big non-profits like PETA and Humane Society don't get in this world, but there's non-profits like I4, the Nature Conservancy. I don't know if the Sierra Club gets into this world, but they buy land and they look after land. Okay? 4. Then you've got your carbon credit, biodiversity credit model nowadays. So companies are trading in carbon, and for that you get credits, and those credits are very valuable. So people are buying up tracts of land and keeping them pristine or protected or doing some sort of management and manipulation for carbon sequestration.
Is that generally paid out by governments?
Governments or private corporations that are trying to meet some sustainability goals. So like Boeing would say, Boeing wants to be net carbon zero. You've heard net carbon zero. Coke wants to be net carbon zero by 2035. So what they do...
So they're just counterbalancing what they're polluting.
100%. So what they do is they say, okay, look, we push out, whatever, I don't even know what the units are. Let's just say 20 cubics of carbon a year. We're going in and partnering with like a mitigation bank, like a carbon bank, who has purposely bought this property and has rejuvenated...
And will not develop it or put a factory on it,
Has rejuvenated and it's very, they have to have all the data and the science, but like they've grown the grassland component by 10-fold or the tree canopy by 20-fold. And that is a measurable carbon sequestration of 500 units a year.
Gotcha.
Well, Coke wants 20 of those units a year. Coke buys those units and makes them net zero from a carbon perspective. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that was number 5. There's only 2 more models. Photographic, ecotourism kind of model, and hunting.
Hunting's huge.
That's it. So there's 7. Did I think of any like that? To me, I might not have. There may be another one out there, but I can't think of one. There's only 7 things in this world that protect wildlife. So, and again, this is all tied to like an education piece.
What about legislation?
Yeah, but that doesn't physically do anything.
Right.
It's gonna hit one of these 7 things.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So when somebody goes, hunting is the worst thing in the world, or this might, like we were talking about before, you've got this increased human fingerprint. Now that's just going to be on an upward trajectory. It's not going to, abate anytime soon. Africa's going to go from 2 billion people today to 5 billion by 2050. Okay. Those 7 things are the things protecting wildlife. Why would you want to toss one out?
Well, in hunting, correct me if I'm wrong, but just thinking out loud, hunting is really the only way that the average individual can participate or have an option to participate in helping.
I wouldn't say it's the only option. Like photographics, you can.
Yeah.
It's just not something that is part of the model. Like, it's not in the culture of photographics because you don't spend that much time. You don't embed yourself. Like, for instance, if you go hunting in Africa, okay, like I'm about to go with a friend of mine, it'll be us two and almost sometimes the owners of the property. Like, we'll be with the owners of the property. And that's it. And you spend 7 days with them. 9, 10, 12 hours, 14 hours a day with them. So you get invested, like you build this relationship with them and you talk about all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
And more often than not, it leads to like, what can we do to help? Because Americans are a philanthropic society, right? The photographic model is not built that way. The photographic model is an in and out. You're there for 3 days and then you're going to move to another camp for 3 days. And in those 3 days, you're not spending 24/7 with someone. Like you go on your game
and
drive.
it's probably larger groups too, right? Like it's probably groups
for sure.
of
There's
like 20 people.
Yeah, there's 10
or
of you on the
something.
truck, right? And you spend 2.5 hours in the morning with your game drive. You come back, you have breakfast, you go chill by the pool. You do it again at night. There's no like real vested like, wow, man, what can I do to help? Like, oh, you need help building a school. How can I help you build a school? Mm-hmm. There's really, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It's not the culture of photographics.
From a monetary standpoint, when you put the two next to each other,
I will
is it
never
equal?
compare. I'll never compare.
Okay.
And that's the thing. A lot of people, they want one to hate the other.
Right.
And photographics do hate hunting. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen the other way. It's very rare for it to happen the other way. What we stand for, and if you're interested, and I don't know if you've watched it or not, but Fine Balance is our elephant documentary out of Botswana.
Yes, I've seen it.
And in that we say it has to be harmonious. Mm-hmm. Ecotourism and hunting can work together and must work together. And Botswana is the perfect example of where they work together. It is an amazing, because in Botswana, for tourists to go, they want to see lots of animals and a big diversity of animals. And that only happens around perennial water in Botswana. Mm-hmm. And that's where the ecotourism lodges are. That is where they live. But then you move 20 kilometers inland, you get into a very monotonous raisin bush, Terminalia sericea sort of sandfelt, and that's to the horizon. You can drive through that stuff for 4.5 hours and nothing changes. The only things you see in it are steenbok, ostrich, the odd buffalo, and lots of elephants. But the tourists get that in their little zone over here.
Mm-hmm.
So why not use this whole space that the ecotourist doesn't want to go to and use it for hunting? Because that's where the hunter wants to go.
Right.
And those two models happen all the time in Botswana, and they work very well together. Maximizing the value of wildlife, maximizing the benefit that can come to a community, right? Like this community right here. This community is Sapacho, and this is where their water, they get their water from. And it's literally a hole in the ground. Their borehole that packed up, and we've actually done a project with them to put a new borehole in for them. You talk about like a philanthropic,
Right.
This is what we need to do. But elephants come by here all the time. There's elephant carcasses everywhere. They call the government and say, come shoot this elephant. Because we can't get to the water.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even get water for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So human-wildlife conflict is crazy. And in this village, a father had died, unfortunately, by an elephant trampling him and left a daughter with 6 kids and whatnot. It's the reality. But hunting's helping.
Does hunting help from a standpoint, like I know it definitely does here in Colorado with the predator situation. And we're so lucky in the United States, I think, like even though as hunters we may not agree with some legislation that's been put in place, it's a good learning model to see what other states have done. So like California, for example, banning hunting of mountain lions.
Yeah.
Was a huge bit of education for us here in Colorado when it's on the ballot initiative to ban it, to look and see what's going on there in real time.
Sure.
And what happens.
Yeah.
And you start to see the overpopulation. So then, as we talked about, animals getting pushed out of their habitats to find new habitats because there's not enough space for them to survive together. Hunting helps thin the herd, obviously. But then on top of that, just the human pressure and them almost being fearful of humans a little bit. Does that translate to Africa or India with these
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. All wildlife's going to respond the same.
Right.
You put a little bit of pressure on them, they're not going to want to be in the place.
Or around humans.
Yeah, or around humans, or they figure out ways in which they don't interact with humans.
Mm-hmm.
Like elephants, you put pressure on elephants that are like always hanging around a water course or water source. You put a little bit of pressure on them, they're not going to hang around anymore. But they'll come in, say, at night to get their water, and then they'll get out of there.
Colorado's a prime example of that with our mountain lion population. Because I think there's like roughly 5,000 or over 5,000 mountain lions here currently. And then the quotas that they put in places to help manage them by game units. And it's a very, very integral system, right, that Colorado Parks and Wildlife has set up to manage those populations. But I bet if you took a survey of everybody that lived here in Evergreen and how often, or in the entirety of their time being a resident here, how many mountain lions they've seen,
None.
I bet you'd be hard pressed to find, in the town here I think is 9,000, maybe 100.
That's seen.
Maybe seen one physically.
Yeah.
Ring cameras, other stuff like that. Like
Sure.
you'd probably be frightened if you put all that data together and actually saw what was going on at night. Like I know I have them. I live a mile from here, and I have them walk right through my yard. And the only way I can tell is because I don't have cameras up or anything. But in the snow, go out to shovel snow.
Yeah, you can see the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think, again, tied to the whole habitat pressure, fingerprints, human pressure on these landscapes. I think that, again, we want to champion sustainable use of wildlife as the mechanism that will lead to, decrease human-wildlife conflict, drive value in these species. There's all sorts of benefits that come from it.
Feeding populations too. I mean, isn't that a big thing in Africa?
That's the one that I saw.
Oh, is that your video?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Sure.
When did you? Was that last summer or was it this year?
It was in the early spring.
Crazy.
Winter, spring, yeah, it was wild. Wild.
Yeah, that's pretty rare opportunity.
Yeah. No, we're in a very good spot. And I think that, we talked about human pressure, we talked about land use. I think the other thing that we're very much interested in understanding is, we definitely want to be more in the environmental investigative, like documentary space or content space. Let me say that. Asking hard questions and digging for answers and being okay with, say, the answer not going our way. I think we need to be okay with that.
As far as covering, can I ask covering what? Or is it?
All sorts of things.
Yeah.
Like this whole Wangi line situation, like just talking about, just asking hard questions. Like what is the truth, really, right? We've started a documentary on wild horses in Arizona, and speaking to both sides. The guys that are like, get rid of all the horses, to those who love horses and keep them in their backyard. And,
Right.
people who have stolen roundup pens because they just hate the thought of somebody going and rounding up horses and moving them off to, get sold or slaughter or whatever. But then we're also interested in really focusing down on actions and understanding the consequences of action. So I'll give you two examples. One in Africa and then one right here in Colorado. So one in Africa is, again, rhetoric. That is, get rid of hunting. Like I said, get rid of it. Well, do we have where hunting has been removed from an action perspective? And can we generate information, science, anecdotal evidence, on-the-ground interviews of what happened post-hunting being removed? And we can. And we can do it very scientifically. So what we've got is I've invested in a web application that is looking at land use change in certain blocks in Africa that used to be hunting blocks and have literally been abandoned for the last 10 years or 15 years. And under their model, because hunting now is technically banned, i.e. removed, i.e. not there, the place should be doing well, should be thriving. But 80% of the trees are gone. It's all been turned to ag, all been turned to bare soil. And I don't have wildlife numbers, but it doesn't take a brain surgeon to tell you that there's probably more wildlife when it was than it is today. So those kinds of things we want to answer questions around. We want to create peer-reviewed science. That's my background. Create the definitive, like here it is, here's the document.
PhD in it, right?
Yeah. And but then also do the stuff that we're good at, right? The stuff that's digestible by people. And then the other example is here in Colorado. And that's really, again, what we did in Colorado last year was defeat ballot box biology. And that was 127. And there's really only one really good example in the West. I don't know if any examples of the East or the Southeast of the consequence that comes from ballot box biology. And that is, in 2020, the state of Colorado voted yes to bring wolves back into the state. And so we are filming currently a documentary in Colorado. We've started it in March. And that documentary is going to be called Wolves in Denver, very poetically. And it's focusing on understanding the true consequence of a yes vote, essentially. Like and the team that I've hired, unbelievably, the lady of my DP, which is the director of photography, my DP is a Colorado resident, and I asked her, like, personally, I said, were you here in 2020? Yep, I was. I said, you mind if I know, like, which way you voted? Did you vote for wolves to be reintroduced? And she said, yes, I did.
Wow.
And now she's filming a documentary of literally the ranching community and the ranchers and the impact of the signature of yes, like her impact, like the impact from her. Literally, like I checked the box, and now I'm seeing it through a
It's
first person's
fascinating.
lens.
I've actually gotten to meet some of those ranchers firsthand, just with another podcast that we record in here. And it's pretty wild. I mean, what's happened in 4 years, right?
Yeah.
And the wolf was just reintroduced last year, basically.
Yeah. Beginning of last year. Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
So we're in.
Man,
we're
thanks
in
for
here.
doing
We're
that.
doing this for
I
the
can't
next.
wait to see that.
Yeah. So we'll be finished filming probably in January. We're doing a whole year of sort of seasonal through the seasons. We've done a lot where the first Copper Creek pack was. We're now trying to get a hold of the guys in Pitkin County where the Copper Creek pack has been released and is now causing more havoc there. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very, very strong piece. And we've got guys that, are just fed up. We've got guys that are doing everything under the sun that they're being asked of. The flaggery, the dogs, the range riders, they're doing everything. And they're still getting smashed. And it's like, what do you want us to do? Like, and then you've got all the claims. They've paid out almost $500,000 in claims. The fund's done. Like the fund,
It's depleted already.
It's depleted already.
Yeah.
So the claims aren't going to stop. And so the money's coming out of somewhere else now. General fund or something else.
Not to mention, I mean, I've gotten all my education on what's recently been happening through Dan Gates' new podcast, have you listened to that?
Yeah,
Through the
it's good.
Gates. It's
Through the
really
Gates.
awesome.
Yeah,
He's
he does
having
a great
lot
job.
of these people on and covering so much of it, man. It is unbelievable what has happened in a year to these ranchers and I guess their resilience to put up with it. Because I think if I was put in that position, I'd just quit the business.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's
if it's
a
in
lot of it's in your bloodlines,
if it's in your
right?
blood,
Yeah,
it's generational. That's what these guys are, man.
absolutely, man.
And okay, to take that further, okay, then what?
Right.
What happens? They leave the land. Like we're not cattle
Now it's
ranching
a
this land.
subdivision.
We've talked about land use.
Yep.
Every square inch of this land of this world is going to have a land use that is valued by something or someone. Rancher A, who has 10,000 acres, 10,000 whatever, right? Says, I'm out of the cattle business. Now what? And he's out because of wolves. Now what? Oh, somebody's going to say, well, maybe we can hunt it. Well, we can't hunt it anymore because the elk that used to be on here aren't on it here anymore. Mm-hmm. So you can't hunt it anymore. So there's no value from a hunting perspective. There's no value from an agricultural livestock perspective. Oh, can we run it like a dude ranch? Or can we turn it into a B&B, like as a guest house? Yeah, you could. But there's probably 100 like you within a 80-mile radius of you.
Yep.
Because there's stiff competition for people and tourism, right? So then what? Oh, sell it to a developer. Who's going to turn it into, ranchettes? Little 5-acre ranchettes. Take the 10,000 acres to 5,000-acre ranchettes.
It's an investment property at that point.
And that's it. Then people are going to build.
It's exactly, I can tell you
It's happening everywhere.
firsthand. Well, that's exactly what happened to Evergreen. My family homesteaded here.
Okay.
And thank you to Denver Mountain Parks and Jefferson County Open Space and some other organizations or government organizations bought a lot of it, or none of it would be preserved. That's why we have so much here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool for me because my kids can still experience the ranch, just not the same way
Yeah.
they did, and we can access it. Very cool. Not every place has that. One thing that recently where I start to get really frustrated is I'm so lucky I got to travel the world, from 18 to about 29, I think is pretty much when I stopped going outside of the U.S. and all over the world, touring with rock bands, great time. Then lived in the meantime when I was touring with those rock bands. Born and raised here, moved to Hermosa Beach, California when I started touring with rock bands. Lived there, lived at the ocean, loved that. Did a short stop in Texas for, I don't even think we were there like 9 months or something, and came back to Colorado specifically and was shocked at just how much the population had grown here, how much rivers had changed from people getting in and out of the banks and fly fishing, being able to access certain spots. And then if you did access them, how many people were actually there utilizing it? Like people fist fighting over fly fishing holes.
Yeah.
And I got my son, like just the etiquette and just all kinds of stuff. Pulling into campsites and seeing trash just left behind, or where somebody had gone to the bathroom, like, for the entire 3 days that they were there, every time that they went. Just because them probably not on purpose, but just not being educated on how to kind of that leave no trace model, right? So a lot of the people that I know that, it's really weird. Colorado calls them Colorado natives, right? If you're born here, which is kind of I don't really use that term, but born and raised here in Colorado, I know so many people and family members as well that love Colorado for what it is, but what it's turned into because of politics, have decided to leave and go to Wyoming or Montana or something like that. But
Place that fits more with their values.
But that frustrates me so much, because when we have these issues come up like Ballot Initiative 127, and it's such a close, or take the wolf, I think was that 116? It doesn't really matter. It's over and gone. But in 2020, I think it was 116. It was such a thin line.
Yeah, 39,000 votes.
Right? 50 or
1.9%.
49 to 51% or something like that.
114.
So those votes start to count, right? Like if those people would have stayed and held true to their values and hunting and not,
Yeah, 1.9%.
you know what I mean? Like that's what frustrates me when people pack up and leave because of politics. With all your experience going around the world, does that happen everywhere? Is it like some of these tribes in India?
The States is very unique.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Because it's just going to follow you wherever you go is my thing, right?
So I would say like South Africa is, you have a multi-party system in South Africa. So it's not just Republicans and Democrats. It's like, 10 parties. I know in South Africa, the Western Cape has just been taken over by the Democratic Alliance, and there's almost like an in-country flight that's happening. Now people are moving out of Joburg, that's run by the ANC, and are moving into the Western Cape, moving into Cape Town because of a better standard of living. You're going to kin that to somebody leaving California and say, I'm fed up with the politics here, the lack of whatever, lack of services, the taxes are too high. I'm going to go to another place that fits more with my ideals.
Sure.
A place like India, does that happen? I don't know. I don't know the politics enough for me to say that. But I will say that you do need a certain amount of affluence to be able to say, I don't like this place anymore. I'm going somewhere else and packing up my family and starting anew.
Right.
So,
I mean, I get it from a monetary value if it comes down to taxes or gets too expensive or that I totally get. I mean, that's life. But if you're strictly leaving on politics and when it comes to wildlife policy or how it's managed, I think you should stay and fight is my thing. But
yeah, some people will, some people won't.
Right. In all your experience, how long have you been at this now, Robbie?
First piece of content dropped in 2017, but we weren't in the fight then. I would say when we turned ourselves into a non-profit, which was June of 2020. So we're essentially 5 years old right now.
Yeah.
Doing what we do. doing what you see.
It's incredible what
we
you've
do.
done in that 5 years.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
It's very incredible.
Our fingerprint around the world is
I thought
pretty amazing for 5 years.
I thought you were after it longer than that. So I've known you from the inception, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we started talking.
Yeah.
In this 5 years experience and you doing this globally, because I think like some of these other organizations, especially when it comes down to species, I hate to name any names, but like certain, let's just say an elk species or something like that, they're gonna concentrate on the Western United States, right?
100%.
To help one specific species.
Yep.
Then you break it down to like Colorado, right? We have a ton of organizations here that are just based in Colorado, and they only, although they care about what's going on globally with hunting, their only focus is on Colorado and what is within our borders,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you have all
That'd
these
be
different
nice.
organizations, and then you got people like, Charles at HAL,
Yeah.
which is pretty much like covering the United States, but from a really,
Legislative policy perspective. Yeah.
it's so incredible what he's done, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And he started literally about the same time we did.
Yeah.
He's kicking ass and
And it's so cool where he lives too, I think. Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
spend
yeah.
a lot of time in the belly of San Francisco,
Yep.
with other work and kind of, some people call it the enemy.
Well, he does his
And he's just embedded there.
Well,
and
he's
he's
just-
hunting. He's just living his life and what he does for conservation. And it's,
they've just released a series of content called Meet and Greet. Mm-hmm. Have you seen it?
I have not yet.
And Meet is MEAT.
Really?
And so first one's of him in the barbershop, like a traditional barbershop in Los Angeles or
What is
San
this, on
Francisco.
YouTube or something?
No, it's on Instagram. Go to
Okay.
go to Hal's Instagram.
I need to catch up with Charles.
Meet and Greet. And
I'm hopefully going to see him in October.
his no, not Meet and Greet Instagram. Just put Hal
Oh, I'm sorry. What was
Yeah, Hal for Wildlife.
Hal for Wildlife Instagram. And it was cool. He was asking just general questions like, what do you think about predator hunting to the barber? And what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And what do you think about trophy hunting?
So he's in getting his haircut.
yeah, he's
and
getting
just
his haircut and the
hell
guys,
yeah.
and he's asking the questions. He's having an interview whilst he's in the barber chair. And then he had this woman, they had coffee together, it looks like. And he's doing it right. Like I love
incredible.
the series. I told
So
him, I said,
we
I love the
recorded
series.
with Charles in San Francisco.
So
like we
there's, go down. That's the next one. That's the one with him with the coffee lady. Keep going. That one. Click on that one. Yeah. Yeah, see?
So this is breakfast pork hot salami.
Yeah, and so he brings meat.
Oh, nice.
He brings meat, introduces it,
You can just slice it,
and
put cheese on it. There isn't.
so it looks like he's had his hair cut already. So he's obviously, he's done the interview already, and he's gone and got the meat, and he's brought
Okay.
it back to the guy.
What a great concept, though.
No, it's fantastic. I love it. Because and you'll see he'll cut it now. They cut it really cool.
From California from Los Gatos. Well, that's I had Los Gatos meats made. Butcher. Yes, so this is literally just going into the streets, Golden Gate Park, San Francisco, wherever, and just asking people how they feel about hunting.
Yeah.
Because when you hear the word or the phrase or whatever, trophy hunting, does that
Well,
mean anything to you?
that means something much different to me.
Okay.
That would
See, that's awesome. Awesome conversations that he's having with just general public people. I love it.
Okay.
And
It's
you
gonna
don't
be
have
sweet.
to have a film crew there to have these conversations. I have them all the time.
Yeah.
When I'm traveling, sitting next to somebody on a plane,
It's awesome.
or if I get recognized from the podcast, some of the questions that I get asked, you can have this conversation with anybody if you're a hunter. And I think it's our duty
Yeah.
if you want to keep it around to.
Yeah, I have conversations
Yeah.
with people all the time. Like I was
Yeah.
sitting in South Africa in the Virgin Lounge waiting to fly home, and I actually met one of my board members who had just come off an elephant hunt, killed an elephant, and we were about to get into like this whole like tell me about the elephant hunt, and we had two people sitting opposite us, and we were talking like, where were you? Oh, I was in Botswana. Oh, he was in Botswana too. What were you? Oh, we had this magnificent photographic safari. And immediately, like I knew, like, okay, Pat, we're not going to talk about elephant hunting. And we just started talking to them, and I just like started slowly but surely like getting to the point. I was like, well, what do you do? And I said, well, I defend hunting all over the world. And immediately you could see her reaction like change.
Really?
Like, oh my God, you're terrible. And I said, I see your reaction. Like, tell me why you react that way. And she did. And I said, well, do you know boom, 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 boom? Oh no, I didn't. Oh, let me give you a little bit more. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you didn't know that? And then he chimes in. And at the end, I know for sure we change both their minds when it comes to hunting in an interaction, just like Charles is doing there.
Yeah, a
Fantastic.
real human interaction.
That's it.
Right? We've
That's
done
it.
it right here while we're recording.
Yeah.
It's impressive. And it's just kind of like pulling your head out of your phone or whatever's going on and converse with people, man.
Well, and that's the thing. You've got to be able to have that conversation when the camera is on, quote unquote.
Right.
And be able to just be, and it be natural, right? Not forced or whatnot, just like you would without
Not
the camera
scripted.
being on kind
Yeah.
of thing, not scripted. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's incredible, man. So shout out to Charles. I'm going to have to check these out. I'm hopefully going to catch up with him in October.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a YouTube series is what I think that they're doing with it, which is
So cool.
fantastic.
So when we went to San Francisco, we rented a studio. This was last year. It might have been, I think it was last year. And rented a little studio space. Charles came down, met us in San Francisco. And I had my buddy Justin behind the camera switcher and doing the co-production on it. Never hunted.
Okay.
Lives in Venice Beach. And then we went out to dinner and just, like just the conversations, like Charles is going to crush it at this that we had from there, and it's not that Justin is an anti-hunter. Like Jeremy, for example, he doesn't hunt, but he understands hunting because of me
Yeah.
and all the conversations that we've had in here.
I like when you hunt.
Yeah. You get meat, right? You get something out of it. Yeah. But I guess to take it back to kind of that, what I was starting off in this last question, you have all these different organizations, but I think you are truly doing it globally. But not only that, you're immersing yourself in it globally.
Trying to.
Yeah.
If
as
there was,
much as you can.
If I could get a 35-hour day, I'd do a lot more.
Right.
I'd be able to do a lot more.
Probably a couple $100 more million would help too, right?
Yeah. That
Right.
wouldn't hurt. That wouldn't hurt.
That's always the hard part, right? But I guess with all that and looking at it from a global perspective, is there a certain place that really just has their hand on the beat and is crushing it, knocking it down with conservation?
No,
Because I know I've watched some of the stuff that you've covered on New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. They've got their own issues.
Right. And then they 180.
Everyone's got issues. Okay, everyone's got issues. But I will say this, and maybe it's because, I don't know what it's not theory, what it's called. And Occam's razor is not it. It may be Occam's razor. Look up what Occam's razor is. OCHMAN razor. Oh no, that's not it. It's this theory that if, for instance, I drive a gray truck. I'd never seen the color before. Okay? It's like, man, that's cool. Buy the truck. Literally driving home, I see 4 cars of the same color. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, the moment you buy a Tesla, you see hundreds of them, right?
Yeah, I don't know what.
I know this theory.
What is it called? Anyway,
I know exactly what
it doesn't
you're
matter.
talking
You may
about.
need to
Yeah.
just Google the phrase, you see something and all of a sudden it shows up. Anyway, maybe because we're in the hunting space and we're more attuned to it, and maybe we're constantly in it, that we're seeing it more, whilst before we weren't seeing it more. But I will say that there is a progressive, proactive movement all over the world that is that I believe is clawing opportunity and narrative and rhetoric back. And it's happening everywhere. New Zealand. You mentioned New Zealand. New Zealand has the only hunting and fishing minister of this world. Amazing dude, James Meagher. And he's his job is to be pro hunting. Imagine we had a minister here,
That'd be
secretary,
awesome.
Secretary of Hunting and Fishing.
Yeah.
You
Who
know?
would it be? Dan Gates?
Not in Colorado, at the Fed level.
Oh,
in
I
DC,
know. Yeah, that would be
between Fish and
incredible.
Wildlife Service and DOI,
Like
slot
Donnie
in.
Jr. or something.
Something
right?
like that.
Yeah.
So New Zealand, they've got a whole suite of other issues. All their animals down there are feral / invasive / nuisance. That's how they're classified by the government. They're not supposed to be there. And so the government's mandate is to eradicate them. But they're a resource.
So everything from stag to
Everything.
wow.
The only native mammal in New Zealand is a bat. So, Beta Meinhof, that's it, Beta Meinhof phenomenon. And so
Thanks, Jeremy.
they've got, but they're about to get hosies in place, which are herds of special interest, which will then protect certain geographical pockets of animals from persecution. So they'll be free from persecution from here on out. Nobody will ever be able to come after the Wapiti herd down in the Fiordlands. Nobody will ever be able to come after the Sika herd in the Kaimanawas.
Does that include hunters, though, as well?
No, hunters aren't persecuting.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Okay, got you.
It's the persecution is somebody saying, we don't
We
want you
need
to
to
hunt anymore
eradicate
and
them.
eradicate them, versus taking a more appropriate, logical, logistically possible approach, which is management.
Which happens right here in the United States.
Yes.
It has happened, right?
What?
Isn't there that island off of California or something where they eradicated all the elk? Or
No. Oh, yes. So that was Santa Rosa Island.
Santa Rosa, yeah.
Catalina, they want to get rid of all the deer right now.
Really?
We've been in that fight. They've backed off a little bit. I don't know where we stand right now with that. Charles and I were in that fight together
Okay.
with a couple of people in California. Catalina Island, the one, all the mule deer gone on the island.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack
No,
you. I
that's
just
fine.
want people to be aware that it happens everywhere.
Yeah, Australia.
Yeah.
Australia just has put a bunch of massive runs on the board. We've been fighting the duck season in the state of Victoria ever since I started this, and the government has literally just put in place 3 years of a full season of 90 days of duck hunting. That's a huge win, massive victory. Didn't think it was possible, but we did it. Not me, but the guys in Australia, and we helped where we could. They just got 2 national parks opened for hunting in Victoria. They just had a new national park created in Northern Territory, and that is going to be also open for hunting. There's a bill in the House in the state of New South Wales it's called a conservation hunting bill. It's going to open up state forests and state parks for hunting. So there's lots of places that wins are coming, constantly. And, so sometimes it's almost like you just got to get your head out of the sand a little bit because you're fighting so much, all the stuff that's against us.
Right.
And look around and be like, oh, man, that's a huge win. Oh, that's a huge win. Oh, that's a huge win.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not checking out the Mountainside Podcast on YouTube, you absolutely should be. If you like the content that we create here and you want to help support the podcast, please take a moment, subscribe to us on YouTube, and hit that notification bell.
When it comes to
See there, last hurrah for deer hunting in Catalina, December 2024.
wow, I didn't even know about that. I should pay closer attention, right? It's hard.
Oh, for sure.
It feels like
Yeah,
a lot of times
even
the
us.
opposition, we're always on the defense, right? Like you're always on your heels. Like it's like trying to put out a fire and somebody's running around starting them.
Mm-hmm.
They're a lot harder to put out than it is to start, right?
Yeah, and you can't like you say, I didn't know about Catalina.
Yeah.
Well, Charles texted me at the beginning of this week that the governor of the state of Illinois has just signed into law new language around what the DNR agency of Illinois can do without it having to go through legislature, without it having to go through public comment. They can just do it. And it's the first agency in the state that now has a mandate and is allowed to, quote unquote, rewild in their state. And it's specific language, rewilding of natural apex predators. And we literally were like, how did we miss this? They literally, Iowa DNR.
They're just sneaking it in, right?
Illinois, sorry, not Iowa. Illinois DNR. If they now want, if they had the political will and pressure could reintroduce wolves into
Well,
like
I
one of
mean,
the
where
best
does the-
whitetail states in the country, right?
That's so
Because of
crazy.
this. But what I'm saying is, Charles
Yeah.
and I, we looked at each other and went,
Mountain lion.
"How did we miss this?
Yeah, and mountain lions, black
Yeah.
bears.
How did we miss this? It snuck under the radar.
Right.
Nobody let us know. It went through on what's the one? It's Memorial Day in May. Yeah, went through around Memorial Day, and it got signed into law on August the 1st.
So crazy. I mean, even the public lands thing that just happened recently,
Yeah,
that if it wasn't for social media, I may not have known about that.
no, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I
social
think,
media is a curse and a blessing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. It's been a blessing for me, man. Like it's all in how you use it, right?
yeah, of course.
You can make it a highlight reel, or you can make it the dreariest thing that it is, or you can make it to throw stones. Like
Yeah,
it's whatever you make it
yeah, agreed.
and how you utilize those tools. And I think it's been beneficial for you too. Yeah,
Yeah, of course. We would
Yeah.
not be what we are today without social media.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Man, with the when it comes to percentages, like I've heard so many things of like worldwide population of who is actually hunting or hunters or involved with hunting. Is it like 4% or something of
I
the
don't think
world?
there's. I don't think there's a worldwide number. It's
Okay.
an American number.
It's an American number is
Yep.
4%, right?
Yep. Yep.
So you have 90% or 96% of the population that has no hunting experience at all. Is that
96% of the population doesn't have a hunting license.
but maybe they've hunted at one
Maybe.
point. So
maybe
let's say that's
something in their family hunts. Maybe they fish. Maybe they shoot.
so if you bump that up, let's say
10 to
Another-
15%.
yeah.
Yeah.
so let's say 85% of the population has no hunting experience or no real interactions with wildlife, because I've said this ad nauseum here on the podcast. I don't think you really can understand nature unless you've put yourself in a situation where you're trying to blend in to nature or the environment. So I think hunters experience it different than a mountain biker does, or a kayaker, or somebody that just goes camping, because I know that I do firsthand the amount of wildlife that I see, the interactions that I have with it, the sounds that you hear. If you're just sitting in a spot, it's amazing what happens around you,
Yeah.
right? But if you're doing 25 miles an hour down a hill on a mountain bike, you're not seeing any of that.
It's
You're
difficult
blown
to
by
interact
it,
it.
right?
Yeah, right.
With your AirPods and all that sort of stuff. I would say, let's say 10% of those people have true interactions with nature. When you take your approach creatively, or put a film or a documentary to the drawing board, because I think you've done such a good job at it, what is your approach to reach that 90% and the 10% and make them happy? Because I think you're not always going to make everybody happy. We all know that, right? Like, go read the comments to this right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be some hate thrown. But when you're looking at it in that perspective and how to target and how to get your message across, are you trying to reach that, let's say 90% of people that have no experience in it?
We're trying to build content that anybody can understand. You know, we want it to be as factual as possible, but we also want it to like resonate with people. Like, oh, I learned something from it, or oh, that makes sense. Whether you're a non-hunter or a hunter, like it was made for you. You know, if a hunter is taking it on, then we're hoping that hunter is absorbing the information so that when they're at the next dinner party or they're interacting with the next social media discussion or comment chain, that they're like, oh, I remember Robbie saying something about.
Maybe they're a podcaster and
Yeah, maybe. Hey,
I've used it.
I remember
I mean,
elephants are not endangered. Like Robbie said that, you know, that's almost like a misnomer. That, in South Africa, use South Africa as an example. South Africa, they can't give elephants away for free right now. Like
Wolves change rivers, right?
No, exactly.
Like that whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so I want you to, when you watch our content or absorb our content or look at our content, that you take something away from it, whether you're a non-hunter, and it changes your perspective around, oh, I had no idea about that management component, or I never had an idea about the impact of that activity, or I never had an idea of the heart of a hunter. Now I heard somebody, and that sounded really different from what I expected a hunter to sound like. Okay? All the way then into a hunting community, like, oh, that guy explored his why in a very different way. Man, that resonated with me. Maybe I need to start talking more about my why. Or, oh man, I didn't realize that statistic around habitat protection, that there's double the amount of area in Africa protected by hunting than national parks. It's a great statistic. When somebody says, oh, I hate hunting, I want it to disappear. Like, all right, well, what are you going to do with 1.5?
It's incredible.
What are you going to do with 1.5 million square kilometers in Africa? You tell me. Like, what? Is your answer photographics? Well, no, photographic. That's why there's hunting there. Mm-hmm. If photographics were there and viable, they would be in the place. They're not in the place. And for the most part, again, narrative, education. Most national parks in this world started as hunting areas, and they were looked after by hunters, and got to the point where you've taken essentially this rock and polished it into a diamond, and then the government goes, we love that diamond, we're going to convert it into a national park.
Right.
And
which they still do some hunting like in Yellowstone and stuff to manage populations, don't they?
No hunting.
Okay.
Culling.
Okay, calling. Yeah.
But that's not, it's not a tag quota system. I believe the tribe is allowed to take bison out of Yellowstone.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, like any elk that needs to be, elk populations need to be reduced, it's all culled. Yeah.
Which is so wild.
So,
I think a lot of people think that wildlife will manage itself through predations. It does in some sort of sense, right? Like
and it used to do more of it in the 50s and 40s and 30s. But that's when we had, 1 billion people on this planet.
Right.
Now we have 8 billion people on this planet.
Yeah.
And again, speaking to everything we've spoken about today, like the pressure, the fingerprint, the lack of connectedness, the small areas that these things are restricted to. That's all because of us. And so we have a responsibility to now be even greater stewards of those lands and of that wildlife,
it's so
and making
much harder
sure that
to
the balance
manage
is
now, right?
Well, and you have to make sure that the balance is right.
Mm-hmm.
And that requires tools to be able to manage that. Hunting being one of those tools.
When it comes to ballot box biology and these issues keep coming up to where the general public is voting on something, and if you're looking at it in those percentages, the 10 to 90, right? You're not supposed to win ballot initiative 127, right?
Yeah.
There's not a chance.
Yeah.
How do we keep, and I've asked Dan this, and I think I've asked Charles this, is there any way in your mind to keep wildlife policy out of the hands of the general public or voting? Or is this something that will continue to happen for...
It happens in lots of states.
Yeah.
Now, those states don't have the ballot box opportunity. And if you talk about, there's a friend of mine here in Colorado that is adamant about democracy and ballot box being a democratic right. That if nothing's working, if you are upset as the people of the state and you can convince enough of your people. Now, the problem is legitimately there are issues that can be fixed through ballot box biology.
There's a ton, yeah.
But like professional opinion things, like engineering of bridges or what bridges look like, or wildlife policy decisions or wildlife regulation decisions, those that are in the professional realm should never, leave it up to anybody that doesn't have wildlife degrees to make decisions around those things. But bridges are built specifically in a way because of engineering to do X, Y, and Z. You can't have the public go, we want bridges to look like this. When the engineers goes, that's impossible.
Yeah, 1,000%.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
And so you've got states like Mississippi. Mississippi doesn't have a ballot box biology, a ballot box route.
Mm-hmm.
So wildlife policy and regulations happen either through the legislature or they happen at the commission level. And either of those can be influenced by politics too.
Yeah, I guess my question is more like, how is there any way in your mind to keep it out of the ballot box? Wildlife policy specifically.
Yeah, the only way that it is on the ballot is through, like, you're talking specifically about Colorado?
The United States.
Well, as I said,
yeah.
I think it's a hodgepodge.
Right.
Like here in Colorado, you'd have to vote the ballot box process out.
Yeah.
I.e., the general citizenship can't bring forward proposals to be voted on. That happens through the legislature.
Right.
That's the typical process that happens in most parts of the United States. If you've got an issue...
So nationally, it could never be shut down completely.
Negative.
Like at a federal level,
Negative.
it couldn't be like,
Never.
this is wildlife biology or falls under...
Nope.
Okay.
'Cause
But
this is-
engineering can.
Nope.
Really? So if the general public decided that they wanted to re-engineer bridges
I don't think
way.
I don't think it'll get... They can do anything.
Right.
You can ban Coors Light.
There'd be a lot of pissed off Coloradans.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's
It's crazy.
that's the beauty of the democratic process.
Right.
You get enough of your buddies to say you're not allowed to drink orange drinks anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, ban
screwed.
it. Ban it. Right? So it's just that's part of the process. That's part of the process here, but that's not the process in Mississippi. And it won't happen at the federal level because this is the United States of America. States are driven by state law.
Right.
They aren't beholden to the feds.
That wildlife is, I mean, I know the answer to this, that wildlife is a natural resource
Yeah.
for you and me.
Yeah.
Would you say it's as valuable or has a value to it like gold or oil or some of these other people that profit?
So that will never happen in the States because of the North American model where wildlife is a public resource here, doesn't belong to anyone.
Correct.
Okay. So you're governed by laws. Even if you've got a fence around white-tailed deer in Texas, you're still governed by regulations tied to how you hunt those whitetail. There's a season, whatnots. Typically there's a quota. If you need extra, you get DMAP quota, DMAP tags and stuff. But like South Africa is a completely different model.
Yeah, that was kind of my...
private land model, right? That's why wildlife is flourishing in South Africa. It's just a different model. We have a fence around our property, and for us to own the land, own the wildlife, we have to have a fence around our property. Once that fence is up, those animals that are inside of that are ours, and we can do whatever we want with them. We can hunt them whenever we want. We can do what we want. We can hunt as many males as we want, as many females as we want. We can hunt as many as we want. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, the value proposition on wildlife is going to be, there's already different models, like the South African models I just described. The United Kingdom value model is also based very much on a private land, same as South Africa, private land model, because there's very little public land in England to hunt, muntjac and Chinese water deer and fallow and whatnot. So private land, these guys can hunt deer, shoot deer, and because of the system that's set up in the UK, that deer can go into the food chain. So if I've got deer on my property, I can sell them to the game processor. The game processor gets the vet inspections on those game meat. I get paid. He then gets paid, goes to the restaurants, and so forth and so forth. That won't ever happen here. Like that's not
because of the North American
because
model.
of the public resource model.
Right. Because we almost decimated wildlife here when we had it. Like that,
so
right?
you would have to have just a major shift. But like in Texas, exotics can make their way into the food chain.
Right.
If you've got all your vet procedures in place, but they're very, very onerous.
The animals almost become like a cattle or a ranch, right?
They are
Like
classified as livestock.
Livestock.
Exotic animals are classified as livestock in Texas. And so for you to be able to put it in the food chain, you have to have a veterinarian with you during the harvest and the processing. And so that's FDA, that's USDA, that's everything. The only person that's doing it on a mass basis right now is Maui Nui Venison in Hawaii, Jacob Muse and the team out there.
Right.
And they're doing axis deer. And so you can go online right now, go to mauinuivenison.com, and you can find shanks, tenderloins, minced axis, whatever you want. You can order it from Hawaii.
Which the meat is freaking incredible.
Yeah, and you can order it from Hawaii. There it is. And you can get it shipped to your front door. And they've got the USDA process down pat.
Mm-hmm.
They hunt at night with thermals. It's all head shooting or neck shooting. It's all silenced weapons. They've got a big processing chill trailer on site. And I think they've got 3 different vets that are with them. And that's it. That's how they do it.
Yeah.
And you see what you get. You get everything. It's all...
So I guess kind of where I was going with this was, or with that last question is there anywhere in the world that has the best model? Is it the North American model of
No.
the best? Is
I think the model that sustains wildlife and has promoted wildlife conservation is the best model.
and it's dependent on wherever you're at in the world with cultures and
So I would
wildlife
say
populations.
the 2 best bastions of wildlife conservation is North America, the United States, and South Africa right now, just from a wildlife population perspective. All of the wildlife in America has rejuvenated and been restored through multiple, regulations, policies, Pittman-Robertson Act, Migratory Bird Act, all of that stuff. That's all gone to rejuvenating all the wildlife that we have here. South Africa, it's the private land model, the private land ownership model. It's flourished the wildlife from 500,000 head of wildlife in 1970 to 22 million head of wildlife today.
That's fascinating.
80% of which, or 70% of which, would actually live on private grounds, private reserves that mainly hunt.
And would you say North America and South Africa are the 2 biggest hunting spots in the world?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where does that go from here in your envisionment and with the Origins Foundation to educate, to use those 2 or the best spots as like a model to show people in India, like this is how you can gain from it community-wise, monetarily wise,
Sure.
management-wise,
Yeah. No,
because
I think,
this is what we've done here.
Yeah, Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
Namibia, Zambia, Mozambique, those are the models that you want for India, because those are CBNRM models, community-based natural resource management models. And the community leads it. The community are driving quota, they're driving who does the work, who benefits, committees, you name it.
It's incredible, man.
That's the model.
Thanks for everything that you do, man.
You're welcome,
it's,
my man.
It's an honor to have you in here. I want to be respectful of your time. We're coming up on time here.
Perfect.
Before you take off,
Sure.
what's the future of the Origins Foundation? And you explained the name change here at the beginning, right?
Yeah,
Or were we recording then?
Yeah,
Okay.
look, the Origins Foundation, again, just as, we need to reach more people, we need to engage more people, we need to raise
It
more
makes
money.
sense.
And we've got a bigger mission. Yes, we're all about hunting. That our heart is not going to change. But we're also now all about sustainable use of wildlife, because to us, that's the future. Like just general, you have to value wildlife through sustainable use. And that's what we're going to champion. So that's the Origins Foundation. We're just going to keep doing what we do. We're going to do more of it. We're going to evolve. We constantly are evolving constantly adding different kinds of content. We just upgraded the entire website. That's getting a makeover. And on
Can you pull that up, Jeremy?
And then and there's still things to be done on the website, but it's really brand new. You can see if you scroll down, we got a badass map. It's going to come up here if you hold on the map.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is the coolest thing about the map is that, when we started, we had one dot, and now we've got like, I don't know how many. You can see, you zoom in somewhere, zoom into that 40 and just click one of those dots. It's just going to tell. So there's a story of Will Primos, right?
Wow.
And you can see they're all just like populating in. It's just
So
crazy.
whether it's a blog or a video or a podcast.
So it's going to be, here are stories from everywhere. And they're color coded, right? So there's blue and there's green and there's yellow. So you're just clicking the blue ones. So click on the yellow ones. So that's a conservation partner that supports us. All right. So now click on the green one. Find a green one. So there's a project that we did.
Nice.
So there's just lots of things to be, it's brand new. So now we've still got all the little bits and pieces, right? There's the depredation to conservation. That's a little project we did with moving antelope from the state of Utah into Arizona. Yeah, you should be able to just click out of it. And
gotcha.
disappear,
Just to go to another one.
Yeah.
That's super cool though, man, because you can see what's happening locally or what you guys have covered locally or what you're currently working on locally, right?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
It's pretty darn cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah, last question.
Last question. When it comes to funding for you guys, I know a lot of it is through donations and stuff like that. That's how you're able to produce content.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of advertisement here or there or sponsors or whatever.
Yeah.
In your eyes, when it comes, because now that there's so many people with their hands,
it's always been that way. It's not like there's
Right.
more hands. It seems like there's more hands, but if you start thinking outside the box, like how many churches have their hands out? How many animal shelters have their hands out? It's part of the lifestyle here in America.
Well, I think you got a really good pulse on it globally, right?
Yeah.
And working with some of these organizations, when it comes to donating your money to a certain organization, what's the vetting process? So people,
I would say you just, you can obviously go online and there's ratings of all sort of nonprofits and their ability, according to them, of how judicious you are with your money.
which is public knowledge.
It's all public knowledge. You can see how much, we spend on programs, how much we spend on admin, how much we spend on fundraising. You can all find that. It's all public. I think one of the things that, you have to, obviously for somebody to give money to you, they've got to see value in you. They've got to see that you're doing something, like you're either changing someone's mind or you're changing something in the world. And that's what people like to see. And, so, fundraising, it is what it is. I'm a little bit rougher, tougher.
It's the worst part of it for you, right?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I don't have any qualms anymore.
Right.
Like Bobby Marshall, why aren't you giving me money? Are you giving me money? See?
No, I'm not actually.
Cost of a cup of coffee a month.
Have I given you money? Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I have.
So, we have $5 a month. Like, people
Right.
are like, come on, $5. And then when somebody cancels me
Right.
for $5 a month, I take it super personally. I'm like, dang, like it's $5.
Right.
Like, what you spend $7.58
spend it
on a Starbucks
Right.
4 times a month.
Yep.
And like, what do you not see value in what I do? So I've become a lot. I'm okay with no's, and to me, a no is just a temporary, not now, but I'll do yes in the future. And so I'll just be like, cool, no problems. In 6 months' time, I'll say, hey, I got this project, or you may not be interested in just giving us money, but would you like to invest in this project or this thing, right? So Wolves of Denver. Wolves of Denver is going to cost us about $110,000. I've raised 62 of that. So we need to raise another 50. I need 5 people at 10 grand.
That's awesome.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm done. And I'm going to be a wicked documentary that just is not just for Colorado, but is, for everyone around ballot box biology and the consequence of ballot box biology.
Absolutely. So when it comes to donate for that, how do people do it? Through the website? Or
we've got a donate link on that website. Just donate and put in the notes. Like, I'd love to donate here to Wolves of Denver.
Okay.
Easy.
Perfect.
Very easy to find. We're not hard to find.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, man. Your
See,
content's
there it is. You might as well
incredible.
just keep going there, Jeremy, and just put Bobby's name in there and put
Go
his
ahead and
credit
put
card
your credit card in. Both of us.
Exactly.
No, I need to re-sign back up for it. I think, didn't you guys revamp or something? I started giving you money at the beginning, but I don't know that I do now. Maybe you do. Maybe you're automatically taking it out of my bank account.
Well,
or
just
maybe
do it
a
again.
card.
Just do it
I
again.
will. I definitely will, man. I believe in what you're doing.
It's like gym memberships, man. People sign up for a gym and they don't go for a year.
No, Robbie, you wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't believe in you, man. This is time is the most valuable thing that I think that we all have.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate
You're welcome.
you spending some time here. And not only that, like flying in early, making the drive. It's not anywhere near where you're going. And if you want to help wildlife conservation globally and see some incredible stories and be a part of it, have a voice, there's
Sure.
a million ways that you guys interact and do
know that
Q&As.
if you're giving us money, know that the stuff that you see, you're a part of it.
That's awesome.
That's it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for everything that you do. Is there
You're welcome.
anything you want to plug before you get out of here?
No, that's it.
All right. Robbie, thank you so much,
Thanks,
man.
Bobby.
Love
Appreciate
having
you.
you. Can't
Cheers,
wait
mate.
to have you back.
Yeah, man. Bye.
Jeremy, take us away.
Thanks for listening to the Mountainside Podcast. If you haven't had a chance to do this already, please take a moment, follow, like, subscribe, or rate on whatever platform you catch the Mountainside Podcast at. If you'd like some more information on upcoming episodes, safety tips, access to all of our affiliates, and all the badass discounts that we get here at the Mountainside Podcast, check out themountainsidepodcast.com.